What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some of the data points, break it down, what's moving it, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is up a very impressive 9.3%, 1164 the low, 1297 the high, and 23.2 million shares being traded. 31.1 is the average. Of that 23 million, these are some of the transactions occurring on the secondary market. So somewhat evenly divided. You have some buying, some selling. Most of the volume, though, coming from the market today is linked to algorithmic trading. And the two big ones for today, so 2.2 million and then 1.07, both were unfortunately sells. But aside from that, there's a lot of things really hyping up the broader market. And starting with data, so challenger job cuts came in at 71,000, forecast of 98,000. Initial jobless claims came in at 191 versus 220. So even though this was good data, kind of contrary to what the market does truly want, which is negative data, still there is roughly around an 87% likelihood of a 25 basis point cut. You also just had this right here signaling that we most likely will be seeing a cut during the next Fed meeting. So in my opinion, that is one of the main reasons why the market is getting very, very hyped up, is just because we finally got what we wanted, a rate cut. Fingers crossed, of course. But there's another thing that did come out that might be a good catalyst for tomorrow. So Trump to talk trade with Mexico and Canada. We haven't really heard too much from this over the last roughly 90 days, give or take. But if there is a reduction potentially on the table, again, that could further push the broader market higher. And that would be, again, a good catalyst for tomorrow. SoundHound, though, there really hasn't been anything crazy. So they did put out this for news. So SoundHound AI to participate in Barclays annual Global Tech Conference. And so this is going to be taking place on December the 11th. So good stuff. Nothing really crazy to buy SoundHound because of this, nor is it a reason to kind of sell, but it's a good, hopefully some new information will be coming down the pipeline. But nonetheless, the market is very, very hyped up right now. Regarding shorts, so they are currently returning about 170,000 shares, 30.79% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 116 million shares overall being shorted. So shorts were trying their very best to slow the progress of SoundHound. They have since kind of given up. So again, that might be potentially, if we get some good catalyst tomorrow, you could see shorts kind of get stuck, right? Because shorts recently did double down, went from around 27 to almost 31% short interest over the last 2 weeks. So they kind of threw everything they had at SoundHound. But I think just given everything in the broader market and how much stocks have actually gone down over the last 1 month alone. So for instance, in SoundHound's case, over the last month is down almost 21%. That's just too much, and it's largely unjustified. So just wanted to kind of share that with you. There was also one update that I wanted to kind of also give you guys, I guess, an update on, and that was this. So the SEC did tweet this yesterday on December the 3rd, saying that they are extending the compliance dates for Rule 13F-2 and Rule 10C-1A. So I've kind of brought up the SEC transparency rule in the past. Initially, it was announced 2023. Was supposed to be kind of implemented 2024. It's been pushed back numerous times, but it was supposed to be kind of done in the first half of 2026 now, but it looks like they are now pushing it back to 2028, January 2nd, 2028. And for the loan component, March 29th, 2029. Why this is and was going to be a big deal for SoundHound and any other stock that's heavily shorted is looking at 13Fs. All of these 13Fs, it is ultimately longs. That's what you have to disclose your position, just long position. If you have a short position, that's completely voluntary if you do disclose it. That in among itself sounds dumb as hell. So the fact that the SEC hasn't really thought about adding a certain level of transparency prior to this is just insane. But now with the new SEC transparency rule, hopefully now in 2028, technically, if you have a long or short position, you have to disclose it. So again, it adds a lot more clarity, and it would also most likely be a natural deterrent against shorting, because nobody wants to be seen as the citadel. Nobody wants to get caught with their pants down. So again, you would see shorts most likely return leading up to that. But again, the timing of this, January 2nd, you're going to be starting to see election talk. It just, most likely this won't come to fruition. So it is rather unfortunate. So SEC, as per usual, drops the ball again. Looking at the options, 5.9 million in calls, 1.6 in puts, and then 50% of all the options being done today are bullish in nature. Bulls are under the impression that it'll be between that 13 to 1350. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 1150. And then, as I mentioned, these are some of the transactions on the secondary market, so somewhat evenly divided. And then these are some of the transactions on the dark pool. Dark pool is often enough used by shorts and hedge funds, but right now with that 1293, it is trading between this pivot and this S1, so 1055 is going to be a strong support. This is the one-day chart, so very strong support and resistance points. And then 1342 is going to be most likely on the table tomorrow. So if we do get some, let's say, trade talks or even the data coming out tomorrow, such as PCE and Michigan consumer sentiment, if that comes in better, then you most likely will see that 1342. So just keep that in mind. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart, completely breaking past that 10 and also that 200-day moving average. So last week, it's kind of looked sketchy. SoundHound's actual chart, it's been most likely the best time to kind of accumulate and buy more stock, but generally it could have gone either way. It was kind of 50-50, and given the market momentum now, it is fair to assume that most likely the next moving average that we will be hitting is at 100, and that's sitting at roughly around 1450. So again, big things will be coming. Even looking at the market position, you don't see that much in willing sellers. So all SoundHound needed is and was that a nice little push. And this is something exactly I did bring up in my video yesterday. All it needed was a nice little push, and then easily it could really move higher. So anticipate this positive momentum to really continue. There really hasn't been that much in real articles. And then same with analyst ratings. So it's been largely just at the mercy of the broader market. Given everything, I think the best thing that could happen right now is if Jim Cramer comes out and says that he is bearish on SoundHound. I feel like that would be exactly what SoundHound needs to just skyrocket to $16 is just Jim Cramer saying, hey, SoundHound, as what he likes to say, doesn't make money and everyone should sell it. That would be epic. Absolutely epic stuff. So let me know your general thoughts on SoundHound. One final thing, if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, pop over to my Patreon. I put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades, worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. Just launched a new tier as well, that it is $15, just swing trades only, and many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers, including this hot one for today, which oddly enough, a lot of people aren't really talking about. It is up 24.7%. Epic stuff. So pop over to there, sign up while you can before the price does increase. So definitely take advantage, because once you sign up, you lock your price in. It will never change whatsoever. So with that said, appreciate all of you watching, and then everyone have a good rest of the day.